My name's Guy Kesteven and I've been testing mountain bikes for 21 years, and today I'm out in campus trails in Santa Cruz riding with Andy, design engineer from Ibis, on the Ibis HD4 which Andy's on, and Andy was responsible for designing along with their other 27 Fly bikes, and the new Ibis Ripmo long travel 29er, well mid travel 145 rear 160mm front. Let's see if the Ripmo really does give a magic carpet ride on magic carpet. Okay, off we go. So, let's run through the basic stats before things get gnarly. Longer, lower geometry started being introduced on the HD4 that Andy's riding. This bike is 66° front, so not crazy slack, but slack enough. 470mm reach. Come with a short offset 44mm floor. Woo! Haha! Straight in. Like I say, 145, travel at the rear, 160 at the front. So not quite flat bike, but more travel where it's needed. But still that nice pickup under power from that DW link. And real stiffness through the back end. You drop that big 800mm bar in. Oh, I took the chunky route. Whoa, I definitely took the chunky route. Yeah, Andy knew what was happening there. I didn't. Whoa. Well, she handled that well. Quite a rude introduction. Into the dust, into the chunks. Bit more visibility now. Box Factory 36 up front. There's large 35mm ID Ibis wheels. Let me slide that 2.5-inch tyre there. Oh, I shouldn't have gone wide there. Andy knew the tight line his way. Ha! Damn it. He's got me there. Local knowledge. I have to apply the power. Like I say, a great carving bike in the back end. I took the wide line and lost you. Yeah, good. Onwards. So, the big point of interest on this bike is the fact they've gone with a bushing for the lower linkage rather than a standard cartridge bearing. And there's, let's say, concern among older mountain bikers who grew up with bushing bikes that typically used to wear out really quick in grim weather conditions, and pretty much cartridge bearings are universal now, so it's a bold move. The reasoning from Ibis's point of view is that it's let them shave some weight and it really increases stiffness in the back end of the bike. So far, it's definitely carving well. Hold these off camber lines where Andy's jumping high and I'm following him. Taking the high spots on landings. Certainly not bellying out. No shortage of precision. Whew. Yes. Yeah, he knows where he's going. Me, not so much. 29er wheels, taking up some of the chunder. Still a pretty physical ride. I'm not going to say it's the smoothest bike I've ridden. Does feel like some resistance in there. Just drifting right on some of the turns. We're riding on pneumatic grip rather than suspension grip. Whew. Glad to add a bit of compression and pressure from the default setting. Oh yeah. Oh, it's always hard to know just how much you're hitting. How much of that's bike and how much that's what under the dust. But yeah, there's some punishment coming through the bottom of my shoes. Things are hard and fast like that, but this is a full-on trail to be hitting on a fresh bike. But I guess that's what I do. And when it comes to climbing manners, this thing's been immaculate. Nice one.
Good.
Boom.
Yeah.
Oh, I just did the fist bump to hand slap thing. That was a fail. We should try that again. Yes. Yeah.
That was magic carpet.
That was. Yeah, a little rougher than magic carpets I've seen in Aladdin and stuff.
Gets slightly rowdy.
Not gonna lie. I could feel it in the dust, couldn't see much, but
sorry about that.
yeah, no, certainly poised. And more respectable use of travel there.
Oh, good.
Just snugging up on the end of the shock there.
So
Getting probably. Yep. Yeah, pretty balanced.
Sweet.
Marvellous.
Which bike was I testing? It was an extra large HD3 that I had raked out, and because it was my initial geometry sample for this bike, and I played around with different.
Because that was closer to what the enduro riders.
What's that?
That was close to what the enduro racers were running.
Yep. And so I had an XL HD3, and I had a 1.5 degree angle set on it, and then I had then I changed the head angle and the fork rake, and so the trail remained the same, and the bike handled totally different.
Yeah.
I was like, this is really something right here, where the HD3 was quite nimble.
Yeah.
Almost twitchy.
Yeah, it was
relative to most sleds.
More of an agile. I mean, it kind of had more travel. It had, I think, the travel kind of put it into a category where actually its weight and its handling, where it's more of an all-day sort of all-rounder bike. Right. Whereas people go, once longer travel, and just smash it downhill like it's a downhill bike.
Right. And so this bike was originally intended to have a 51 offset fork.
Right.
We were going to make with a 29-inch longer reach,
longer
rake than a normal 27.5 fork.
Okay.
And so, but that was kind of the opposite direction that everybody else was doing.
Yeah.
And we got that feedback from Fox and other fork makers. But what it did was keep the bike nimble, like the HD3.
Yeah.
But gave you this stability and this high lean angle.
Yeah, because that's what I think Giant did that with the first of the recent rains, didn't they? I think they went longer.
There's a bunch of forks that are 27.5 plus /29.
Yeah.
And if that fork got spec'd on a 27.5 bike, then that has 51 offset.
Cool.
But I think I was looking at some Specialized Enduro geo chart, and they had a typo in it where it had a 51 offset.
Right.
And I was like, at that point, I am like fluent in geo chart.
Yeah.
I was like, that might be really cool. And
yeah.
Looked up what the trail number was and everything. They had the right trail for that 51 offset. So I think they were gonna do that.
Yeah.
And then they stopped. They didn't do it. Just cruise up here and cut in, little secret entrance. And then
sweet.
We can pause and talk a bit about the trail. You need some heads up on it for sure.
Oh, okay. Now you tell me.
Yeah. This is one of the fun
ones. Yeah. That's always an ominous sign. Just kill him lightly. Yeah. Come back, it's only a flesh wound.
The only thing to watch out for is there's how does it work? You go through about halfway down, you go through a little snaky part where you have to drop off a log.
Okay.
And that's part's just fine. After that, you do a little cut across the hill thing, and it gets insanely steep.
Okay.
For only about 100 meters.
Okay.
And you can totally ride it out, it's fine. There's nothing to hit. But when you crest over the top of it, it's like a little double drop, and the second drop just goes. So just be prepared for that. Just check your speed up, sight your line. You want to be bending off to the left a little bit.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay, here we go. Sounds like it's going to be interesting. So I'm going to be relying on the agility of that 66-degree head angle and the inherent pop in this bike to help me out down here, because this is steep and I can't see a damn thing. Oh. Okay, I'm guessing we haven't hit the steep part yet, which is slightly concerning. Oh. Oh man, when you know how used I am to riding dust, you see what I normally ride. Okay, so I'm glad this bike is stiff. Okay, drop off. I got that one. Okay, hey. And then it gets super steep. Okay, there's a double drop. Okay, double drop. First one. Okay, yeah. Oh. Okay, yeah. So get your heels back. Yeah, plenty of braking traction. For half of those 2.5 wide tires on big fat rims. Yeah. Okay. We're alive. I talked nothing about the bike down there. I tried to make something up about the tightness of the bike, and that was good. But I was concentrating on the trail. Okay, traverse. But that is where that, whoa, nice. That's where that steep and tight angle really comes in. Just popping the front back wheel up and round there. I'm braking way more than I should be. But, whoo, there we go. Hop, boom. Whey. Oh, I'm not flowing today, not gonna lie. So I'm glad this bike's helping me out. Keeping it nice and taut. Placement is good. Certainly no wallow going on. Very firm under the foot. A lot of feedback through that suspension system, so got a lot of information about what that rear tire is doing. Like I say, mid-travel, not long travel, but so taut down there. Whew. And it climbs. I mean, Ibis always climb well. You can always go up a pay grade when it comes to climbing on an Ibis. But that is definitely no exception with this Ripmo. Again, another bike, not to be judged by its travel. But in this circumstance, probably a bike feels like less travel. Certainly a bike you want to judge off the rear travel, not the fork travel. If you're looking for an intended user, you know, this is a 145mm man's bike, not a 160. Whoa! Nearly rolled that one. Yes. Hello to dust. Oh, didn't I? Got it right that time. Now, one thing I haven't had a chance to document on this ride yet is how damn good this bike is up climbs, particularly super steep technical climbs. You've got that 76-degree seat angle, whole bunch of wide rim, wide tire, direct pedaling feel, grip. Just slam dunk it over even impossible looking crux moves. Like I say, haven't been able to commentate on those kids. Andy's an ex-road pro. He's been riding these climbs and descents for as long as I've been testing bikes, so I've been blown out my arse, to be honest. He's been chatting all the way up here. He's been polite now and keeping quiet, but yeah, so Ibis Ripmo rips climbs brilliantly. And again, it's just the wheel weighting. If you're worried about 29ers with long travel being floppy, not at all. Sits relatively high in its stroke under power and just claws its way up, because that front wheel has so much traction without you having to heave on the bars or really weight it. So I guess starting to flow downhill now. And again, big tyre footprint, accurate frame. It's not a mad chunder eater, but when it comes to flow trails, this thing is peachy. And from other reviews I've seen, it can do a lot to improve its ability to eat big stuff. by fitting an X2 rather than DPX2 shock on the back. You can run a bit more. You can run more travel spaces. Thanks to Mike over on Pink Bike for that tip. I can see what he means. I'm having to run a fair amount of pressure to keep it centered in the stroke rather than just blowing all the way through at the end like I did on the first run. Well, before even the first run. But that drift is really nice. Really pointy. And that 66-degree hand angle. Twists and snakes when you're at the saddle, but never lurches to so far offline. So you can micro adjust your lines, but you're not getting dragged off them. The grand theme is still the same. And it's still slacker than a lot of bikes in its category. Yeah, like the Yeti 5.5, Santa Cruz Hightower LT. And it's interesting, chatting to the guys at Ibis. They tried, you know, the slackest of the slack bikes to see what, you know, they wanted to find out how that rode.
Here's our next drop.
Okay. Okay. This one is Cobb Salad. One of the looser ways down the hill. With a big old drop off 3 turns in apparently. So, gonna let the dust settle and see how brave I am when I get there. But back to the story. They have tried now properly super long, super slack bikes just to see what the deal is with them. You know, find out what other people run about. Ah, oh, damn it. Oh no, that's way smaller than I was expecting. I was just chatting. Hang on, I'll just roll in again. Oh, okay. I mean, a lot of things end badly with, oh, that's totally doable, but I think that is. Okay, so let's stop talking about other bikes and get on with riding this one. Yeah. That's fine. Thanks for the warning though. Okay, back on the narration. And what was interesting, I saw a lot of benefits just with the climbing and the unweighted. The way it just tracked straight, so the wheels rolled easily. And so they tried to replicate some of that weighting in this bike with a longer fork and that 470mm reach. Oh, bum on the tyre moment. But you know, you say, oh, it's not super slack. I mean, 66-degree head angle. How slack do you want? I mean, that's crazy slack a couple of years ago. And it's certainly still nice and stable with this 44mm fork, big 29er wheel. You know, you've got to keep these things in perspective. 470mm reach. I mean, literally that would have been an XL very recently. You know, part of the development process for this bike was just going, okay, let's steepen the seat angle up and basically let's change all the sizes. So the large is the XL and vice versa. And it's what a lot of companies have gone through recently. But because they kept the frame low in height, it means that you can go long and still run the long dropper post, or you can size down. So you don't need a crazy long reach. You just run what would have been old conventional sizing. So if you used to ride a medium, you know, ride a small. Okay, speed up, speed up, speed up. You see loads of feedback. Nice and tight. Nice and tight, nice and tight. But then you've got that fork treble to take care of the chunder. Even when the fork does start switching around, because you're cooking the brakes Ah, sea jackal. And it. So I think I might recognise this bit. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, I recognise that bit. I got it better the first time. Ah. Yee. Ibis Ripmo. That was awesome. Thank you very much, fella.
Yeah, for sure.
Thanks for showing me the home trails.
Of course.
On a bike that's really well, okay, let's let the cars go past. On a bike that's really well adapted to that kind of maximum traction, maximum control, just tight, techy. You know, maybe if you are just going to flat out plow through stuff, you'll maybe want a slacker bike in the head angle. The kinematic that makes better with a coil shock, so you know, go for the HD4. But that extra rollover and that extra grip and that slam dunk climbing poise over some of those super steep sections, then this has been spot on. Yeah, it's a new bike. Have to see how the bushings work out in the UK long term, but yeah, they've done their homework. I mean, the guys who worked on the bushings for this had a big experience of working on bushings at Fox Forks and Fox Shockline, so it's not that they're new to the game. And you know, if all bikes are the same, this would be a boring old game. And one thing Ibis have never been is the same as other people. So good to see that carrying on. Sweet.
Cheers.
Thanks a lot for your time, Dave.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm just talking to myself about micron tolerances. The trails have been too intense to discuss them on the way down. So, if you watched the little factory tour I did, then you'll have seen the guys hand reaming out the bearing tolerances, sorry, bushing tolerances. So they're within 0.03 to 0.5, sorry, to 0.05 in diameter. So super tight. And that's the way they can guarantee the performance from those bushings. And they've worked really long and hard on getting the surface finishing right, so that the anodized surface holds just enough grease to keep the bushings lubricated. Because they know, historically, bushings are a hard sell, but they see real benefits in it, and so far, so good. Certainly carved. Oh, got the back end up. So one thing, if you wedge forward, can make it hook a little bit. Maybe that's the bushing stiction. Maybe it's just the kinematic. But such a tight ride. And even when I'm climbing, I haven't touched the Pro Pebble lever, whatever it's called this year, on the side of the shop once.
I've never,
you know, the transfer to,
I haven't used a climb switch in like,
that's the one, climb switch.
Years.
Yeah. You know, transfer from seated to stood, pretty seamless. I mean, obviously a little more movement out of the saddle, as you'd expect, but certainly nothing disturbing, as you can maybe see back there now. Just mobile enough to pick up that traction, to roll you over the jank, but certainly not enough to disturb your pedaling rhythm.
And so it changes by position of suspension and what gear you're in.
Yeah.
On any given bike.
Yeah.
But if you raise your center of gravity, you are definitely just lower your time.
Yeah.
So, you stand on the pedal, the bike is consistent, your bob on.
Yeah.
Not that you are pedaling harder, so with one foot, that is your bike more in the distance.
Yeah, you actually changed the anti-score leverage. Now that's a new one. I like that one.
If you want to keep your bike as efficient as possible, you accelerate in the saddle all the time.
Yep. So I don't know how much of that you caught, but Andy just made a very interesting point that I haven't even thought about before. But anti-squat is all based around suspension system, center of gravity, pivot position, all in relation to each other. But obviously, if you raise that center of gravity, then you decrease the level of anti-squat. So, as soon as you stand up, you're making the bike naturally less pedal efficient and more prone to bob, which stands to reason. So it's not that your pedaling is any more jerky, and it might be, or that, you know, you're producing more torque, but also, nice, they were hot there, that you're fundamentally making the bike less efficient. So that's bad news for me, really. He was an absolute stand-up climber all the time. If you watch my videos in BKXC, he was giving me some serious flack about that not sitting down. So, sorry for all those suspension designers whose bikes I've been unwittingly making inefficient. I'll sit my ass down and develop some seated power. There you go. It's the great thing about riding with new people, new designers who thought about things slightly differently. I just thought about them more deeply. You always learn something. Always. There's no right or wrong answer. Oh no, that's not true. There are some stinkers out there still, but you know, if anything, I think Andy's been pretty harsh on his bike. And he says he's not the best climber or the best descender. Because this thing climbs really, really well. When it comes to getting the power down, this Ripmo is nice and clean and efficient. And still really rails. A little bit more, you can see, a bit more handlebar mobility compared to Andy on that 64 where he's properly locked in. But, hi. Yeah, certainly not a sketch fest. Loads of control in here. Didn't get to keep my feet on, or Andy's dragging his. Oh. Afternoon. Afternoon.
Hi.
There's always a guy in a Scot going uphill, isn't it? Can't help himself. To be fair, that'd have been me if I was on a Scot. Oh, I'll be Mrs. Kesterman, almost certainly. Can't answer right now, I'm afraid, Mrs. I better concentrate on the trail. Oh, this is lovely flow. And when it's not as steep and not as brake intensive, I've been cooking my brakes on the previous two descents. So, with the brakes off, this bike is really well poised. It's not kind of knuckling under on the front, like it had the tendency to do on the really steep stuff. Lets you lift the front end a bit more. Lets you pop the back end up. So pick it up out of those flat faces, which aren't its strong point. Compared to something like a BPP system. And just lets you flow. That's what this bad boy is for. Just that pump and blow. But with that tyre volume, woo-hoo-hoo. See, tight. Lovely control on the rear brake there. Sliding it all the way around. And I'm not used to sand. So, you can see how well weighted the front end was, and the back end just totally went out of line there. And that's the combination of the stick, but oh damn, not quite over enough there. Come on, stop talking, start concentrating. All right, cheers, man. Stop talking, start concentrating. Andy's getting away from you here. Come on. Guess if he's got local comms. Oh yeah, that was the sweet line. And if you don't follow them close, you're not going to get those sweet lines. Okay. Apply a bit of power. again, it's a long bike. Not the easiest to pop a manual, but perfectly adept and weighted. You know, less likely to lose that front end, and still sharp enough to chop in. Cheers, man. If you come across a guy on a road bike with a handlebar bag hiding in the trees, okay, it's California. It's all Gucci. That's what I would say. Whew. Oh, this is an awesome flow trail. Oh, I'm glad we did not take the tarmac route. Well, that guy was riding up it with a bar bag on. I think what's really noticeable on this Ripmo compared to other bigger volume 29er bikes I've ridden, like this new Specialized Stump Jumper, which obviously has similar travel, similar tyre volume, not quite as wide a rim. It just feels so much tighter and more poised. That feels pretty anaesthetized, to be honest. Even though they've gone with a tighter shock tune on it, it's definitely not as sharp and as agile in feel as this Ripmo is. But you've still got that extra travel to help you out when you need it. Certainly up front on this big old Fox factory 36 forks. You know, and it's still a light bike. Frame weight without a shock, about 2.5 kilos, so about 2750 with the shock in. And again, that bushing lower linkage has really helped keep the weight down on the bike, as well as giving that really sharp tracking rear end.